Thank you, and good morning to everyone.
Good morning.
Of course, protocol has been established, and it is a wonderful pleasure to be here, and it is an honor to be at an event named after my mentor, Dr. Miles Monroe. I want to give special recognition to his son, who is a wonderful young man. He's a brilliant young man, and he is the smoothest young man you'll ever meet. Calm, smooth, and collected. And to Pastor Dave Burrows, who's also been an inspiration in my life from a very young man with some of his organizations that helped me to come from where I was to where I am today. So thank you, Pastor Dave. Before I start to speak to you, I'm going to speak to you today on the topic of discovering your leadership identity. Discovering your leadership identity. And of course, you don't know what that means, but I wrote a book called Identity Crisis. And the reason I wrote that is because it is the greatest problem known to man today. People don't know who they are. People don't know what they're supposed to do. And so I wrote a book called Identity Crisis, and the book is changing lives all over the Bahamas. It's in all the stores it is in, it's a bestseller. They said they've never had a book that sold so fast. It's because people are reading it, experiencing it, and passing it on to others. It's definitely changing lives. So some of the books will be available afterwards. I advise you to get that, especially young persons who are about to venture out in your life, find your major, find what you're supposed to do in life. Get that book. It will change your life. Before I start, I just want to tell you where I came from. Not the stuff that she just said, all of that good stuff. My mother came to me one day and said to me that she tried everything in this world to kill me when I was in her stomach, but I would not die. She tried everything, but I would not die. The situation is that she got pregnant at a young age. The age of some of you in here, she was 16 when she first got pregnant. She ended up with a child. She ended up getting put out of her house because she was 16 and pregnant. She ended up on her own at 16. The father, not long after hearing that she was pregnant, abandoned. Of course, that's what they do a lot of times. And so she was literally on her own. Not long after, she was pregnant again with another child. Not long after that, she was pregnant again with me. And so she had to make a decision. Do I look out for these first two children and get rid of this one? Or do I have this one and ruin all of our lives? I was the one who was going to ruin everyone's life. She tried everything, and I would not die. And so she came to me and said, she knew that I was here for a purpose. Because no matter what she did, no matter what she took, no matter what procedure, I didn't die. And so here I am standing before you today. And so all of those things that you heard, all of those experiences that I had, I've been around the world. I've sung with some great people. I've done some great things. I've helped a lot of people along the way. That would not have happened if she decided that I wasn't worth anything. To her, I wasn't initially worth anything. Later, she became a great mother. When she realized that I had some worth in her mind, she was a great mother, and she nurtured every gift I had, and she encouraged me, and she made me into the man that I am today. And so I said all of that for you to realize something. Every single person has purpose. Everything has purpose. Everything. Every bird, every bee, every fly, every maggot, even things that are not alive has purpose. The dirt on the ground has purpose. The water in the oceans has purpose. Everything has purpose. Even an unwanted child. Even you. I don't know what your circumstance is today, but you are alive and born for a purpose. A purpose that you may not understand. Everything has a gift and potential. Everything is full of gifts and potential. Look at your neighbor and say, you're full of it. So, today we're going to talk about what this is about. We're going to talk about leadership. What is leadership? A lot of people have a lot of questions about leadership. A lot of people say, oh, it's ability to influence people, it's this, it's that. A lot of people really don't know what leadership is. The fact is, every single human being is a leader. And everyone has leadership potential in them. Every single person. And this is why you don't like people bossing over you. This is why you get annoyed with your annoying boss. This is why you don't like the prefect in school. This is why you don't like police officers. This is why you have a problem with your supervisor. Deep inside you, you have a problem. You have a problem with people lording over you. And that's because no one is supposed to rule over you, and man is not supposed to have dominion over other men. God gave us dominion over the fishes and the birds and the plants and everything else. He did not give us dominion over other men. I'm going to tell you what leadership is. We're going to look at the historical meaning of it. The prehistoric West and North German history of it is Leithjan. That's the word for leadership. And it was derived from Leitho, meaning way or journey. Hold that in your head, remember that. Way or journey. Now they tell you all these things about what leadership means, but we're going to get back to the root of what it really means. Way or journey. And so, modern etymological synonyms for it is to guide. And it's from the old French guider, which means to guide, lead, or conduct. That's where we get it from. It's from the Frankish witan, which means to show the way. Or wit, which means to see. That's where we get the word witness from. There's someone who saw something. Or wizen, to show or point out, to see. The fact of the matter, if you go through all of the historic meanings of lead, or leader, or leadership, you're going to find something very peculiar. It actually means to see one's own way. Not only to show the way, but to see your way and to see your own way. The first person you must lead is you. The first person that you're going to lead is you. Before you can show others the way, you must discover yourself. You can't show others the way if you don't know the way. I'll give you an example. Moses went into the wilderness as a fugitive, and he lived there, and he was a shepherd, and he had to work this wilderness and take his sheep and take them around to find water, to find pasture, etc. That was the same wilderness that he was going to bring the children of Israel in. He went there to get experience. He found his way. He found his experience as a shepherd before he could shepherd those people. He found his way before he actually knew what his purpose was. He was a person in training. So, why is it so important to find your way? And this is where I got all my religion from. If you look at my bio, which my bio could be 10 pages long, I've lived 10 lifetimes. And people ask me, why do you do so much stuff? Why are you involved in so much things? And this is why. I came across a scripture, Matthew 25, that talks about the talents. And that's where God gave 10 talents to one person, 5 talents to one person, 2 to one, and 1 to one. And the one who didn't use his talent was the one who had 1. And the church normally stops reading that scripture where it says that it took the talent, God took the talent from him and gave it to the one who had 10, who multiplied his talent. But the next scripture says that that person was sent to hell. It says, into utter darkness, where there'll be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And a lot of us don't read that because we can't fathom that he didn't lie, steal, commit fornication, or do anything that we normally know as a sin. He just didn't use his talent. And he was punished. And right after that, Jesus talks about this fig tree. And you can learn more about trees in a minute. You're a tree. He learned about this fig tree. He talked about this fig tree, and it wasn't bearing fruit. The funny thing is, it wasn't fig season. So the fig had an excuse. But he came up on the fig tree, and it wasn't bearing fruit. And he punished it. He cut it down and burned it. Another version of the story, he made it wither. You are a tree, and you bear fruit. You know a tree by its fruit. Everyone has fruit. Everyone bears fruit. People are attracted to the fruit of a tree. When you go to a tree, when you go to a coconut tree, you're not going there for the leaves and the bark, are you? You're going there for the coconuts. When you go to an orange tree, you're attracted to the oranges. We're going to reveal this in layers. Something is coming. So, when you bear fruit, you attract people to your fruit. They come to you because of your fruit, which is your gift. You don't even have to go to them. They'll come to you. I didn't ask COB to call me to stand on the stage today. I bore fruit. It was a book. I wrote a book. Someone read the book. They said, wow, this is some good stuff. We need to have him speaking. I bought fruit. Every single one of you has fruit. And that fruit will make way for you. It will attract people to you. It will attract opportunities to you. It will attract everything to you. So what is a leader's job to do? A leader's job is to bear fruit. It's not to lord over people. It's to bear fruit. I'm going to make this make more sense to you in a minute. Leadership is therefore not the ability to influence. Leadership is the ability to inspire people. That is what leadership is. Again, I'm going to make that make more sense to you in a minute. Leadership don't look for people to control, to lord over. Leaders look for people to serve. A tree serves you. When you walk up to an orange tree, when you walk up to a mango tree, that tree is serving you. It's serving you fruit. And that is what you have as a leader. Leadership is like a lit candle. Like a lit candle. A candle goes into a dark room and doesn't manipulate the room. It doesn't convince it. It doesn't influence it. It just becomes itself. It's a lit candle and it influences the room around it. And there's nothing the room can do. But it has to be a part of that room. You're going to learn more about the candle in a minute. A candle, a lit candle, just like a leader, influences persons around them by touching them. When one candle touches another candle, it lights it, and lights another, and another, until you have a room full of candles. This is leadership. It ignites, it inspires, and it touches those persons around it. So leadership is the ability to inspire the world with your gifts. That is true leadership. The ability to inspire the world with your gifts. And how do they do it? They do it by catching the attention of those around them. That is what they do. The leaders always stand out. They get their attention first. Jesus didn't just go up to the disciples and say, hey, I'm Jesus, I'm good, come follow me. He didn't. He said, oh, you like fish? Let me show you a trick. And he said, put your net on that side. And they got a bunch of fish. And they said, wow, who is this man? And they decided to go with him. He got their attention with his fruit, his gift. God didn't just go to Moses and say, Moses, go to Pharaoh now. He got his attention in a burning bush that wasn't burning. Moses was like, I got to see what this is. He got their attention. And so leaders always stand out. Your fruit, your gift will always stand out. And it's your job to make it stand out. Michael Jackson doesn't look the way he looks because he just wants to be strange or different. He's doing it to get your attention. When they create a new phone and you watch the commercials, they always have some features. The new Samsung, etc. The new iPhone, etc. That's some feature that you'll never use, but it caught your attention. My computer could flip and backflip and turn and twist and do all kinds of things. That caught my attention. I was like, I gotta have this. Now you may never use those features, but it caught your attention. Michael Jordan went into slam dunk competition because it would catch your attention. He was already a good player, but it would catch your attention. A fruit has colors. A mango has yellow and red. An apple has red. It catches your attention. Fruit catches your attention. Always remember that. Now, so again, what is leadership? What is the leadership greatness of a sailing boat? Everyone knows a sailing boat, right? Good. What is the leadership greatness of a sailing boat? Someone said speed. It's not his speed. And it's not the fact that he can run faster than everybody. That's not his leadership greatness. That's not where it is. The leadership greatness of a sane boat is in the fact that he makes everyone else around him faster. Every single person who ran against Usain Bolt was faster than everyone else who ran before Usain Bolt existed. He made everyone around him better. They had to compete. That is leadership. He influenced the people around him. He made them better. He changed the game. And therefore, Michael Jordan, his greatness wasn't in leadership, wasn't that he could command all of the members of his team. No, it was that he made everyone in basketball better. They had to get better to keep up. He made not only his teammates better, he made everyone in the game have to give up their summer vacation and train and go to the gym. Oh, we can't go to Disney World this year because Michael Jordan is there. And it made everyone around him better. And therefore, your role is to inspire those around you by your gift. That is when you become a true leader. When your gift excels, when your gift moves to the next level and everyone has to step up their game. That is how you inspire people. Think about it, Michael Jordan. So many, if you watch interviews of Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, all these people, they would tell you they watched Michael Jordan on TV as boys, and they, as soon as the game was over, they'd run outside to go and try to do those moves that he did. He inspired them. He touched them to the TV. That's leadership. That is how you're going to influence. Leadership isn't talking. Leadership isn't commanding or ruling. Leadership is being. Just being there, like the candle. Bruce Lee. I remember when I was young and growing up, we watched Bruce Lee, and trust me, as soon as that movie was over, we was outside playing karate. And he inspired many martial artists, and he changed the game. Leaders set the pace in their industry. Let me show you a trick. If someone set up a fruit stand right now outside this college, over there where they used to play chess, where you all hang out in the grass, that's very well accepted. I put it to you that that's wrong. Some people are misunderstanding something there. Let me repeat that for you. They say a group of sheep led by a lion will always defeat a group of lions led by a sheep. I put it to you that if a sheep could get a group of lions to follow him, that is a leader. That is a leader. The reason they're making a mistake is because they are judging the leader based on his appearance. That is why they're making a mistake. You don't judge a leader by his appearance. You judge a leader by those around him. Usain Bolt made everyone. All of the 5 fastest people after Usain Bolt was faster than anyone. Carl Lewis, anyone in history. All of them. Because of Usain Bolt. That is how it works. It's called influence. If a lion can only attract sheep, he is a sheep in lion's clothing. Why do I say that? Because you attract 2 things to you. People are attracted to 2 things. That's anything that looks like them and anything that inspires them. That's the only 2 things that attract people. And so if that lion can only attract sheep, he's not really a lion. And I can guarantee you, that sheep, and his lion are going to defeat them because there's something inside them. Let me explain to you with attraction. When you first get in a relationship, some of you know about a relationship, some of you are too young. You should not be in a relationship. When you first get in a relationship, you start to look at, oh, he likes the color blue too. Oh, he likes sushi just like me. Oh, he likes to travel. You're attracted to the similarities. That's all you talk about. They say opposites attract, but that's not necessarily true. The first thing that attracts you is the similarities. If you go on any college, school, or prison, anywhere in the world, anywhere, go to prison, you're going to see that all the blacks hang together, all the Latinos hang together, all the white Aryans hang together. People are attracted to what looks like them. Right? In school, all the jocks hang together, all the cheerleaders hang together, all the nerds hang together. You're attracted to what looks like you. Right? Am I right? So, if a lion is attracting sheep, that's not a lion. The fact is, God always uses sheep in lion's clothing. I know that's a strange statement. God always uses sheep in lion's clothing. Why does he do that? Why does he do that? Well, let me show you something. If you send a lion to fight a wolf, and the lion wins, the lion gets the glory. The lion should be the wolf. But if you send a sheep to fight a lion, and a sheep to fight a wolf, and the sheep wins, then everyone is gonna look at this sheep. Wow, who is this? What's inside this sheep? and then God gets the glory. That is why God sent a little sheep named David to fight a lion called Goliath. Because in that, yes, you can clap right there. Because in that, God gets the glory. Anyone ever watch the movie 300? Remember the movie 300? Where these 300 men fought, and they fought so violently. In the end they lost, because they wasn't saved. But in the end they lost. But they put up a good fight. But there was another group of 300. It's actually in the Bible. It's in the book of Judges chapter 7. And Gideon was their leader. And he had 32,000 men, and God came to him. Let me read you quickly what God said to him. He said, the Lord said to Gideon, the people who are with you are too many for me to give Midian into their hands. For Israel would come boastfully saying, my own power has delivered me. Because they were going to take the credit for themselves. And God said, look, you can't fight with 32,000 men against the Midianites. You have to cut that down. And he cut it down to 300 men. 300. Why? So that God would get the glory. That is why God sends sheep. So, what are you? That is the question that you have to ask. What are you? Look at your neighbor and say, there's a lion inside this sheep. Now look at your neighbor and say, bah! Listen, you thought you were too lowly and too black and too female and too poor and from the ghetto, and that was your excuses for not being able to do good things. But God always uses people from poor circumstances. I'm going to wrap up in a minute. From bad circumstances. That is how he finds his leaders. Joseph was from a troubled home. He was a slave and a prisoner, and he became a ruler. Samuel was adopted, and he became the high priest. Deborah was a female in a male-dominated world. She became a judge and led Israel to 40 years of prosperity. Moses, we know his story. He was threatened with death from birth. He was abandoned. He was a fugitive. He was a murderer, but he became one of the greatest liberators ever. David was rejected of his brothers. He became king. Solomon was the result of an adulterous relationship. He was not the first son in line to be king, but he still became king. Jesus was born from humble beginnings, from a town where they said nothing good could come out of their town. Maybe that's where you're from right now, from what they call the ghetto. Nothing good could come out of that town. I was born in Angleton. I grew up in Pinewood Gardens. I moved from Pinewood Gardens to Paradise Island. Paul was a killer and prosecutor of Christians. He became one of the greatest Christian leaders. Adam was made from dirt. He became the first man. Man looks at you and sees a sheep. God looks at you and sees a lion. Look at your neighbor and say, roar! You were sent to this earth to solve a problem. Your gift is to solve a problem. I have to wrap up now. If you want to understand the rest of this and understand the source of your true leadership, get my book. It's in all the stores if you don't have enough out there. But you were made to solve a problem. And that is why it looks so dark around you. That's why your circumstances may look dark. You may say, I don't like my family, I don't like my neighborhood, I don't like my circumstances, I hate everything about my life. But it's because you were sent to solve a problem. A lit candle is nothing. It has no value without darkness. You were sent into a dark situation because you were sent to solve a problem. There's some problem that you were sent to this world to solve. And you got to solve it. You have to come into the darkness in order to solve it. That's why you are where you are. For a mechanic to fix a car, the car has to come to the mechanic, right? For medicine to heal your headache, you have to take the medicine. It has to come into contact with you. You are where you are because you are there to solve that problem. Don't try to get rid of the Goliath. Don't pray for God to get rid of the Goliaths in your life. They were there to make you king. Amen? So you are a king. You are a lion, so your job is to find your identity. I promise this is the last thing I'm going to say. We have to define identity. And this is the most important thing. Listen to this very careful. If you forget everything else I say, does anyone here know the meaning of the word identity? Anyone? Identity. A lot of people say it means what makes you you, what makes you individual, it identifies who you are. They say you're unique because only you have this fingerprint. They say identity has to do with your uniqueness, right? That sounds right? That is absolutely wrong. Identity has nothing to do with your uniqueness. I'm going to blow your mind and I'm going to sit down. Let's go to the root of the word identity. Identity is from the Latin word idem, which means same. I know I just scrambled everyone's brain just now. Identity means same. The word evolved from the late Latin word identitas, which means the quality of being identical. So the word identity has less to do with determining who you are and more to do with determining who you are like. Hence, the link to the word identical. You see how close those words are? Identical means same. Identity. One of the Merriam-Webster dictionary definitions of identity is sameness in all that constitutes the objective reality of a thing. Oneness. Therefore, the root of man's identity crisis is not because he does not know who he is, but because he does not know who he is like. Leaders in front of me, I said every single person here is a leader. And you are a leader because of who you are like. You are made in the image and likeness of God. In his image and his likeness. That is what makes you great. That is what makes you a son of God. That is where your true power lies. You are a king, the Bible says. The son of the king is a king. You are a king. And a king has a dominion. Your gift is your dominion. Your dominion is that thing what you were sent to this earth to do. Your gift. Michael Jordan's dominion is basketball. Oprah Winfrey's dominion is TV. Drake's dominion is rap. What is your dominion? Your job as a leader is to find your dominion. Find your way. Be the king of your jungle. Someone quickly. Who's the king of the jungle? Everyone says that the lion is the king of the jungle. But the truth is, lions, she said Tarzan. I'm with you on that. let me show you a mystery. Lions don't live in jungles. The tiger is the king of the jungle. Lions live in savannas. They live in savannas. Look at their mane. They look like their terrain. You ever see a lion in the jungle? Think about National Geographic. They're in the savannas with these high brown grass all around them. Tigers live in the jungle with their stripes. It's good for them where they are. But the lion doesn't listen to you when you tell him he's the king of the jungle. He knows where he is from. He knows what he's the king of. And he doesn't let you influence who he is. He knows that he's the king. So never let anyone tell you what your gifting is. Never copy anyone because you are made in the image of the king. You be the king of your jungle. Find your thing and lead others to it. You are a king. You are a warrior. You are a leader. And you are going to, like a Usain Bolt, influence everyone around you.